My people, I bring greetings anywhere you are watching from, or viewing from, or joining from right now. I greet you in the name of Chuku Okike. I greet you. You are welcome. I can see from the comment, Frank O. Nolene, firstborn. Firstborn, you day here today. I greet you, OG. Ugochukwu, my namesake, Okwaka, one name. I greet all of you today. So many things have gone on, so many things are going on, so many things will still be going on. But above all, as they are struggling to lie to themselves, deceive themselves, believe their lies, we are not even struggling. We are heading on. We are heading on. We are moving on. We always move on to one step, from one step to another, from one step to another, from one step to another. So, my wonderful people of Biafra, anywhere you are joining us from right now, my greetings to you. Firstly, I would like me to enter Ebubagokwa. Ha! Ebubagokwa. Ha! Ebubagokwa. Aha! Nwanne aha gị aha gị eketazi bio. I greet you, my brother. I greet you. Yeah, with love, everybody. They will know, they will they will. So we continue. Today we are going to look on. We see Zamfara State Governor telling you for assurance openly. This one is not a voice, it's not a leaked audio, it's not a stolen audio, a stolen video, it's not a doctored audio in Nigerian news media telling you they know these bandits one on one, they know their families, they know where they live, they see them, they relate with them on everyday basis, but they cannot touch them. They are the anointed. Are they choosing? It's only choosing that you want to touch. You tell you, I am a chosen. What do you want? Who are you? You will disappear. So that is it. So this we will listen to the video, and but before that, I want us to go straight to our Prime Minister's handle and they see the happenings. As you can see, so many things, so many events, from the finance minister to the White House, from the BRGIE to the lobby, from the COS to the lobbyist, from that one to White House, the finance minister, from that one, the cabinet members all over the world gathered in America with the Jerusalem group in America. Hey! All the way good. Yes, as we are talking about it, as if that was not enough, immediately the COS, Biafra Republic Government, is now in Korea in the World Peace Conference. Shock me because I know that I am sure that God is on our side. The moment the Biafra Chief of Staff were ushered into the ongoing World Peace Summit in South Korea, today being 18th of September 2024. She's only there for Biafra to represent Biafra.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Event will take about like.
Thank you so much. Oh, different colors. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
And
Thank you so much.
there are many pictures of this. You see, you can always see it is happening. It's not fake. This is not
Thank you so
doctored.
much.
And
Oh,
it's
different
not that
colors.
she was there. The way she was,
Thank you.
the manner she was welcomed,
Thank you.
something else. Okay, it's just something else. You can see the footages the pictures, you will understand what we are talking about. Excuse me. We be with the talk, we they show you, with the talk, we they show you. We know the talk tell you later. We know be the people with the talk from radio that you cannot see. You know, hey, I see my reverend sister. I am this evening it is awesomely happening. So, like I said before, it is happening, it is showing. You can see the pictures, you can see the pictures, and then let's go and that is Biafra for you. You can see the camera, you can see that. See that? So Biafra is now on the world. You can see the pictures. No, we say are just the talk. You can see for yourself. You can see for yourself. You can see with your eyes. You no look with your any other thing. Just try and look with your own very eyes. So when you hear say it is happening, you will understand that the dimension is something you know will fit explain. So many things they go on, so many things they happen. Let me see if I can add Facebook here. So many things are going on, so many things are happening. Who know, he no go know. The only one good thing you do me this evening, just try and like this video as we continue to move. We will show you so many things in this video this wonderful evening. But firstly, there's a video I want us to see from our Prime Minister desk. Where is that video? Where is that video? Where's our Prime Minister?
Yeah. It is self-defense, the most aggressive one that the Biafra government have activated. Nigeria have killed us for ages. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was broadcasting on Radio Biafra for many years, but because of criminals that surrounded him, they used the opportunity of Biafra, and when he called upon the people that want to fight for Biafra, many criminals embraced that call. After 8 years, he was crying for just 100 men. Nobody is talking about it anymore. There are millions of Biafrans following him, shouting, our leader, shouting Biafra, Biafra, and he was shouting 100 men. Today, you have seen the reason why he was shouting 100 men. Because almost all of them turned their back on Biafra. Almost all of them today are supporting Nigeria. Almost all of them today turn back to support those who killed them in Aba. The same people that were shouting, give us gun, we need bullet, we need gun, we need gun, today are shouting and supporting those who murdered them in Enugu. That was the reason Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was shouting 100 men, because he couldn't see anybody. He saw that all of them are fake. When he make decision to stop election, these same people that call themselves DOS or IPOB today, which is IPOB Nigeria, there will be the same people go back to him to persuade him. After they have collected money from the governors, they will go back to him. You want to cancel election? You want to cancel election? You want to boycott election? You want them to tag us terrorists? If you boycott election, they will call you terrorists. I want to know, how can stopping election as a freedom fighting movement will make you become a terrorist? Is there any relationship between stopping election as a freedom fighting movement and terrorism? How does that amount to terrorism? When you just going to tell people to stay at home, how does that amount to terrorism? We did it. Did we take our word back? The answer is no. Did we stop the election? Yes, we did. Over 25 million people who registered for election, only 20-something, only 4 million people voted. 20-something million boycotted the election. Are we a terrorist? The answer is no. Are we the one who killed people in Lagos for election? Not us. It was the Nigeria state, the terrorist state of Nigeria, that committed act of terrorism during the election. And that is what we try to prevent our people from becoming a victim. And many who did not listen to us fall victim of this election, the past election. Those who were killed, did anybody remember them? The answer is no. Those who were butchered in Lagos, did anybody remember them? The answer is no. Did anybody compensate their family? The answer is no. Did anybody, those who lost their businesses in Lagos, that their businesses were burned to ashes, did anybody compensate them? The answer, till today, the answer is no. Now I ask you, who are the terrorists? But these people deceived Onyendu for many years. If not because of the glory of God, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, Biafra would have lost trust in him. Because there is nothing in this world like when a man says something and doesn't stand up by it. There has been a lot of, many times they declared boycott election. At the dying minute, they will call it, because he was under pressure by the same people who was fighting Biafra with him. He never knew then that these people were all fake until the last minute when he said, I need 100 men. I cannot see any men here. He asked, which people am I going to go to war with? People don't understand. Those genuine people today may not understand what was going on. He was shouting for 100 men. Where there are millions of people, IPOB scattered all over the world, this man was shouting for 100 men. He couldn't find any 100 men among them. Today, I promised him that when he is coming out, he will have millions of Biafrans who are genuine. And he is coming out with the Biafra flag. Believe me, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu will be released in a very historic manner. And what they want us to do is to stop Biafra struggle and begin to fight for the release of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu in place of the Biafra struggle. Because we understand this very well. We defeated that plan. Many of them today is being used. That's why you can see some people who call themselves Jewish or whatever, they will gather in their number, they will write script and give them. Say, oh, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is not here. Just go and say, don't support a referendum because Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. So they want you to make, they want to make Mazi Nnamdi Kanu the fight. But you have to be fighting. And today, we are killing the bird. We are killing many birds with one stone. Do you understand the point? As they hold him, we have proven to them that holding him will never stop Biafra. We also prove to them that holding him will become the most expensive thing. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has become the most expensive commodity under the Nigeria state. The more they hold him, the more expensive it becomes. The more they detain him, the more we will make Nigeria feel the pain of the crime of international kidnapping. The more they hold Mazi Nnamdi Kanu in dungeon, the more Nigeria economy will go down. We will crash it, believe me. Because it is not just about Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. It is about thousands of Biafrans who are now being detained, and many of them are dying on a daily basis. This has happened for many years. I want you to understand what Nigeria is. For those who were supporting Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, only to turn back because he was kidnapped from Kenya.
All right, we see that, we hear that, we listen to that. This evening, I might not be talking too much because we have a lot on our table. Now, the same Yoruba people that say you are their problem, they live there. They are now crying. Can you see the screen? If you are out there and you get, okay, we see one of our brother here now, Adere Lekan. I beg you, confirm to me that this video is saying the what I titled, what the inscription on it, because so many people listen first.
Owó tó ń gbà lóṣù kò ká báàgì ráìsì kan. Báwo náà ti fẹ́ ká survive? Ara ni aráàlú. Àwọn ìyàwó wa wọ́n ti di olóṣó tán. Tí wọ́n bá jáde síta kán lọ sí àgbẹ̀.
Then they try make them kill her. Then they try make them stop her. Biafra ga bialele, Ndiwo ga nalele. Biafra ga bialele, Ndiwo ga nalele. Iye chukwu dele dege melele, iye chukwu kule kuge melele. Come on, my man, nuna na gabiga. Come on, my man, nuna na gabiga. Ndilo galaleti, oswimi galaleti. Ndiwo heavyweight, all over the world we pull weight. Ibulonyi wo jubilate. If you know like freedom, you the hate. Know that we be the chosen one. We don't need it all, but they all need us. Anya choro pa mana ha chola anya cho. Amana nweli feni ne uwana cho. Nilo galaleti, Fulani galaleti, Oswimi galaleti, Ndibo heavyweight. If they lie, may they kill us. If they lie, may they lock us. Then they try, may they kill us.
It must continue. So sorry for that interruption. So I saw this, and I prefer bringing this here, not because they are Yorubas. This is not because they are Yoruba people, but these represent the group of, I don't know what to describe them like. They are just the group of people that don't know where they are going. They are in my own clan even. They are in Biafra land. They are everywhere. Everywhere. They are everywhere. This is what everybody must understand. These people are everywhere. They're everywhere. So we must try to understand these people who are there, what they do, why are they doing what they are doing, why are they doing these things they are doing? Because they have been paid. Just like the IPOB Nigeria you see today, fighting here and there, doing that and doing that, because they have been paid. That's why that video I played now is very, very important that you listen, that our Prime Minister explained it all in that video. So this is just to tell you, Fela's single song, he called it Suffering and Smiling. Our people don't mind dying just to carry out evil acts. That's why if you watch these people that are doing poison, they want to poison you, they are poisoning other people who are there. They are poor people that are not rich. Poor man that struggle to eat will get that money and go and do poison to buy somebody. That's what I'm saying. So when you see them, they don't know where they are going. They don't even know their right from their left. So that's it. And we must continue. And there is a video we will watch just today. Now, open, we could open everything, make it a leak. We go open them here, it go leak. We go open them there. We go first of all, quietly, patiently, listen. Okay, let's hear about Israel. Israel. What is going on in Israel? Israel. In Israel today, many people don't understand what happened about the pager explosion. The pager explosion is just that the Hezbollah imported pager. Many people will not understand what pager is. Pager is in 80s or early 90s, before cellular telephone came out. Before we have this telephone, we used to have pager. I used to have one then in Zoo. When I was in Zoo, I used to have one. It just something like just a small thing like this. You can use it to send a message to somebody with, then cellular telephone is very expensive. There was when we have cellular telephone that only Nitel controls. You have to get your number from that one Oliver or overall Nokia overall Edison. That time it's only Edison, and it used to be very big then. So it's only for the ministers and governors, they used the telephone then. So this pager is just something small like this, just like a small calculator. You can use it to type a message and send it to go as fast as your message with the telephone today. Cellular smartphones could go. So these people, Hezbollah, advised the people of Palestine not to use telephone again. I think that was some months ago, that they will provide an alternative. Because Israelites, the Israeli government, has been able to penetrate and find out when they want to detonate a bomb or anything, when they are sending anything, they will find out through their telephones. So they decide not to use telephone again. They want to use pager. So they want and they fabricate pager, and they were bringing it in. As they were bringing it in, Israel found out what they did, and they intercepted their pager without them knowing it. Israel intercepted the pager and they plant explosive so that they will explode. And they never knew, and push it back to them. And they went and grabbed it. So that is what happened. When you see that pager explosion in Lebanon, that is what happened exactly. So let's listen to this.
But then Christmas is coming up soon, right? So there might be an uptick. All right, you've already shown, I just do want to get into this because a lot of traders are talking about this attack that happened, cybersecurity discussions. I think you've already showed the images, but just take a viewer discretion advice for this explosion. This gentleman that was in a supermarket where that pager exploded in Lebanon.
I don't want to show that because of
So I heard, Dr. Abasi talking about technology earlier. Remember in February, Hezbollah leaders said don't use mobile phones anymore because they're being tracked by Israeli forces. So they've gone back to, pagers are things from the 1990s, right? Surprised anybody still uses them. But that's what they've been using. You've already gone over the fact that so far 9 people have been killed and about almost 3,000 people that have been injured. But folks have been asking, how was this possible by Israeli well, again, Israel has not commented, but again, it is suspected that it's Israel. How did they do it? Did they detonate it from, somewhere from a distance, or was there a supply chain attack? So there are a couple cybersecurity experts that spoke on this. The first one is from Professor Tony Ingeson. He used to be a former bomb disposal expert with the Swedish Armed Forces. He's a professor now in a public school in Sweden. He says the footage I've seen indicates an explosive substance of some sort, a very small charge enough to injure someone. You don't need much. The advantage here is a device people will carry on their person. Then we get to Ken Monroe. He is the founder of Pen Test Partners. They're a security outfit as well. And he says, I'm leaning hard towards a supply chain attack, as to remotely cause a battery to explode in such a fashion would be extremely challenging. So the supply chain attack people are talking about is that they're saying that, again, Israel allegedly intercepted a shipment of those pagers apparently coming from Taiwan. And so it gets further now, because there's a quote from the founder of a company called Good Apollo. Good Apollo is apparently the manufacturer of these pagers, and they're located in Taipei in Taiwan. So, reporters immediately went to his office, and the gentleman, Hugh Ching Kwan, who is the founder and the president, he said the product was not ours. It was only that it's had our brand on it. So apparently they licensed the brand out. He says, we only provide brand trademark authorization, and we have no involvement in the design or manufacturing of this product. So, again, the story now that is forming, is that the Israelis were somehow able to intercept the shipment, plant the explosive, seal it back up, and then get it delivered over to the folks in Lebanon. And there's a map showing the extent to which this attacks. So you can actually see this spreading into Damascus, actually into Syria. So the red points there, hopefully you have the Lebanon map there. Beirut, of course, Bekaa, Western Bekaa, Saw, Saida. It's pretty extensive. And so it's, again, oil prices didn't react much, but then traders are nervous that if there is a blowback, this could extend further. To the United States, it's the talk of the town. I'm actually quite surprised. The markets are forecasting a 50 basis points cut from the Federal Reserve. The narrative is that somehow the Fed has been behind the unlikely to be pronounced on food inflation as most agro machines.
All right. Thank you so much for your presence in this place. You giving your own analysis. So we see that one now waiting Anna or very woman way. And so it will always be. So shall it be, always, always, always. The only thing we need to do is to work harder. Harder, yes, we must work harder. So, my wonderful people, we will listen to so many things this evening. Like I told you before, there are so many things to look into, to hear, to before we start. I don't know, I am on Facebook. Okay, that will be the last. Let me take that last so that I will remove Facebook before then. But now let's go to the governor before we see, or before the governor comes. I want us to take a look at this video.
There is something that happened on July 8, 2022. That is about the Kuje prison break by the Boko Haram members. Boko Haram members stormed Kuje.
I will not be interjecting too much today, like I said, because I want everybody to understand the videos we are playing. I will do more of playing the videos. Your own is to get the message. I will not be talking too much. I will be just trying to show you, tell you, explain to you, but I will not be analyzing any much today. So I want to, this guy, this our brother Okocha, he's been doing a wonderful work. Even if they do pass me, I don't know if they get and go to bring those hidden things, they expose them, bawang. Yeah, and I tell you, say me, my own is that all I know is that I am looking forward to a freedom. I'm not looking forward to the social media battle. That's why I'm against what Ikenga Uruagwe is doing. Despite I hate Ikenga's character and lifestyle, that doesn't mean if I see him there now, I will fight him. I will not fight him because fighting him will be an act of foolishness. So he is not my enemy. He is trying to they are making themselves to look like our enemies because of their ignorance. So all of them, including Uchechi, they are not our enemies. If you look, you will find out that most time our prime minister ignore them. They just once in a while, he will just ship in small thing. They have to be ignored. So we move. Let us listen to this, our brother.
The prison. When they stormed Kuje prison, they broke the entrance. They shot so many people. They released people who have been detained in Kuje prison, their members. And Channels Television reported this. It reads, Kuje prison attack. Federal government declared fleeing Boko Haram suspects wanted, release photos. Now, this video is an art of research because yesterday I saw a leaked memo from the Department of State Service, DSS, that they are downgrading. I will explain all these terms to you. They are downgrading the...
Are you getting the message he's preaching? They are downgrading. And this is more reason why this man called, I've forgotten his name, the Zamfara State Governor is today. Zamfara State Governor is telling you that they know them by name, in person, their houses. They know where they are staying. They know where they sleep. But you will listen to the wonderful video interview. You will listen. So listen to this first so you will get to where we are going. Let's go.
Names of terrorists who are in their watch list. In other words, they are forgiving terrorists. They are downgrading their name. If their name is on the watch list, that anytime they see them, they will arrest them. They will downgrade it and send memo to all their agencies. Forget about arresting this man. That is what downgrading means. Like when Showore was about to enter Nigeria the other day, there was also a leaked memo that they upgraded his arrest on the watch list, that immediately he entered Nigeria, they should arrest him. The same thing was done against Nnamdi Kanu back then in 2014. Now, why is it that the Department of State Service, I know that they are controlled by the chief of, what is it called? The president is the controller general. He's the chief.
No. You've forgotten that the new, what do you call him? Defense minister, executive defense minister, that Musa gets order, that CDS Musa gets order and the instruction from, told you that the greatest terrorist is his boy. You can't keep him. He give order, go tell the police to let him go. He's my boy. You've forgotten that? So let's go. Continue.
Of all armed forces is the chief general. Anything he says, they do. But, one would ask, why are they now downgrading the names of terrorists, forgiving them, when we have a country that is being ravaged by insecurity? Now, when I saw the memo, I started doing research. I discovered that this name, Musa, among the people they downgraded recently, is a member of Boko Haram that has been declared wanted by the same government. Now, I want to take you back to what Channels Television published then. It reads that the federal government has declared all Boko Haram suspects who fled the medium security custodial center in Kuje, Abuja, wanted. In a statement on Friday, the Nigerian Correctional Service revealed the names and photos of 69 inmates who escaped from the correctional facility following an attack by terrorists 3 days ago. The following are faces and names of inmates with Boko Haram and terrorism cases who escaped from Kuje Correctional Center during the jail attack on the 5th July 2022, he said. Now, I want to take you to their names. Their names are Mustafa Omar, Sheikh Abdullahi, Suleiman, Idi, Suleiman, Zakaria, and so on and so forth. Down there, before the last two names, you saw Ibrahim Musa, right? Follow me. This is a product of a research so that you understand the concept of this video very well. Now, this is Ibrahim Musa there. I hope you are seeing it. That is Ibrahim Musa. Now, I went on to check what really happened, why the DSS is downgrading that Ibrahim Musa, that he's no longer wanted. Now, look at this memo. This person was placed on watch list November 2023. That was when he was placed on watch list, according to this memo. Now, and the memo reads DSE 9A/5457. Look at the topic there on board. Downgrading of watch list action. All these things are security terms. You might not understand it, but let me just read out what it means for you. I am directed to inform, yours means your department or your section, that the Department General of State Service has approved the downgrading of watch list action, a suspected terrorist against Ibrahim Musa. And the number is what they wrote there. And they said, with immediate effect, this is for your strict compliance. So that is the memo. Now, why is it that this man, they are downgrading his terrorism profile, meaning he's out of charges? I just went to figure out for you where Channels Television published this man that is among the people about the Kuje prison incident. They broke the Kuje prison and they free everybody. They place him on watch list. Now they are forgiving him. This is how they have been doing all the whole terrorists in Nigeria. And tell me, if this government is aiding terrorism, how can terrorists end? Someone should answer this question. How can terrorism end? You know why I keep on bringing all these things out, exposing all these things? I know that you can't even see, so many media organizations bringing forth something like this. It will be very hard for you to see, mainstream media talking about these incidents happening in Nigeria, how the governments are aiding terrorists. Nobody's talking about it. Look at it. I'm just reading out everything to you. Look at it. Now,
are you getting the message? So when you see somebody coming out to tell you that they are fighting terrorists, they are fighting insecurity, I want you to look at them very well and open your eyes very well and look at them eyeball to eyeball and ask them, say, because it is impossible for you to, when you listen to these governors, this sitting governor of Zamfara state, I'm not telling you of ex-governor, sitting governor. So I'm just trying to make you understand what we are saying so that when this governor will speak, you will not be floating in the air. I want you to walk on the two ground with your two legs, But the walk we go stand, they take a stand to understand what I'm saying. Because all these things, if we are saying it, it will be flying fear. You don't watch Formula One before. If you don't stay for field where Formula One motor pass, just like torchlight, you don't go see them again. So if you are not careful, when we are trying to bring all these things to your hearing, they will be doing you like it don't pass, you don't even get them. So I'm trying to make you understand very well. Remember the other day I showed us a documentary where what you call him did now Minister for Defense is the header, the leader of the an organization of the Bokoware, Teroware. You understand them? I have to be careful because not only this channel I get where I trust now, the other ones now. So let us be very careful. So you understand what I'm saying? And don't worry, just let's hear him out until the end. Then we go into and at the end of it, we'll see what some updates and some documentary from a Christian organization from the northern area. Let's see.
why I am so much anxious about all this insecurity and terrorism act being linked to the government in Nigeria is because of Nnamdi Kanu. Because Nnamdi Kanu's case is a case that is so crucial, is so important to so many people. There is no court in Nigeria that have found this man guilty, and he is still being held in detention. But look at the terrorists are being left on one way or the other. They are just forgiving them, living. What kind of nation are we? What kind of country is this that pets terrorists? But the innocent people, I mean, someone that court has declared you are not guilty.
Hold on.
They are still holding him. And that is something that is awakening so many people's conscience, that this country is not a normal place. This country is supposed not to be one. This country is not, a sane country. Many people are not happy with the situation of things. But your emotion, your anger can't change anything if you do not take action. If you do not take necessary action. By the way, no matter what we talk, the government can never come out to address all these things, because they believe that Nigeria has two sets of people, the slaves and people who are enslaving them. The slaves are the ones who don't talk. No matter what is going on in Nigeria, they don't talk. They can't even talk at all. It doesn't matter what is going on, even though there's everybody lie down, you march their head, they will be suffering as minded. I don't know the kind of people we have in Nigeria. Something also came to my mind. I said, it could be because these people were born and brought up from this situation. They were born and brought up from this calamity. That is why they feel that, this is how the world is. Unfortunately, that is not the way the world is. Now, the way the federal government are handling the insecurity situation in Nigeria, that is why all these Akida, all these terrorists, that is why they are coming into Nigeria. They are coming with boldness. The whole borders are porous. Now, maybe you must have seen this video for some time now in circulation. This video, you see the beret they are putting on, like that of Hamas and all those people. These people said they are Akida, that they have come, to support the ISWAP and so on and so forth. These people, if the federal government are taking, a decisive measure against insecurity, they won't come into a country that is not theirs and be flexing muscles. This is happening and everyone is keeping quiet. The only thing I want the citizens to do is to continue to resist the government, is to continue to make the government to fear the people. Because if we do not raise the standard where the government will fear the people, everything you will be doing, they will be sabotaging. Even though you want to secede out of Nigeria, they will keep on sabotaging it. We must raise a standard where the government will fear the people so that there will be liberty. And that is what is going to happen. So there is nothing new about insecurity in Nigeria. There is nothing new that the government is, supporting or aiding the terrorists. There is nothing new about that. It is done to everyone. Everyone knows that the federal government, especially the APC government, is being is controlling the terrorists in Nigeria, aiding them. Now, before the assumption of the APC government into the presidency, that is in the year 2015, when they ousted Goodluck Jonathan, I saw the same people that time. I think they have not formed APC, CPC, and AC. AC is Tinubu's side, CPC is Buhari side. So Buhari, through CPC, always talk and said, if you fight Boko Haram, it's a fight against the North. Right from that time, I ever knew that there is a problem, that something is wrong somewhere. And these people imported all these people so that they can destabilize the nation to their own gain, because they believe that all these people have the same religion with their own. So they can do anything. They support them. It's the same Islam. It's the same mission to Islamize Nigeria or to win an election, according to Senator Nani Abaribe. This is the situation we are facing.
In trying to remove Jonathan.
Now, I want you to see Nani Abaribe. Maybe you have seen this video, but I also want you to see it now and reason it now also. Then you ask yourself, all these people we call governors, senators, ministers, we get them. You know that these people don't like you. You know that these people despise you, you know that these people have no value for you, and yet when you see somebody like Nnamdi Kanu, instead of you to shut your mouth and walk out, walk away, pretend you didn't see him, you will come and sit down and start explaining how evil he is. When you see somebody like Simon Ekpa, you will come and explain how much he is a little boy and a useless criminal. How much he, today, the trending thing today is that the Northerners are saying that Simon Ekpa is Nigeria agent employed by I laugh. Simon Ekpa is paid agent by Tinubu to buy their brothers in the Biafra land in the name of their uniform terrorists in uniform. I don't laugh, Taya. I see the writing for channel for either X or for TikTok. I see the boy say that this man, he put the photo, he said this man is a paid agent by Tinubu to buy their brothers, that is the phone and northern, okay, the way he said, to buy northern soldiers in eastern Nigeria. And I saw you that time. I laugh. You see, the clients, the wotos, the gogogongwo is Pro Max now, is working. They know it. They are crying, but they don't want to confess it. But the time is coming when they will come. The Musa has done that. They have done that severally. That they buy their soldiers. They buy their soldiers. They buy the soldiers that are wicked people. But I want to ask a question. So you want these people to watch you come to their land and buy them? They will not respond. You buy them, you go, you buy them, you come, this, it think if it is like today, Obasanjo will carry out the OD attack, not even OD attack, OD clearance or leveling. The same thing that happened in Ehamufu happened in OD. The only thing that happened differently is that OD was more dangerous, whether they spread even chemical after that. But it just the same thing, because every house there was put down. Only a church was left. Only one church in Odi. And that's the same thing they did in Ehamufu. One church, they just leave them there for you. One church. But other churches in something. So what I'm saying, if it is like today, Obasanjo wouldn't have gone to the. Forget what Tom Polo is doing with Nigerian Army. When it comes, when the time comes, I will understand if Tom Polo is appreciating the Nigerian Army by building barracks for them to come and take over his land. I will understand if Tom Polo is happy with Dangote refining his own oil in Lagos. Tom Polo should have asked or answered the question why Dangote went to Lagos and built the refinery. Tom Polo should have known that Dangote building the refinery in Lagos is, we deny you everything. The communities that produce this oil are dying of hunger. And you are building that money Tom Polo used to build this barrack and equip it should have given life to the people of one of the community, all the communities rather. Give them life. Give them hospital. They don't have hospital. They don't have school. They don't have light. You are spending your money to build for Nigerian government. Anyway, those are one of the things you are building for Biafra. Maybe indirectly you are building for Biafra in case people don't understand it. We will continue to do what we are doing. So Abaribe knew all this thing. Why is he fighting against the coming of Biafra?
There were stateless persons that were from the Sahel region that were imported into Nigeria. And a former chairman of PDP made that statement. I'm not the person that made it.
But that importation is a fact, is it?
That importation is
a fact. The news agent, the journalists confirmed that it's a fact. Even it's not a hearsay. Hey, Honorable Shin, I greet you, my dear sister. They will. Are you getting the message? It's a fact. They imported them and they are still importing them. Remember, the Niger State governor said that Niger State is the highest depot. Now, depot I call them. But no, jokes apart. Niger State governor said, this present Niger State governor, he said that Niger State is the greatest place in the world. He said, I repeat it, I repeat, greatest, largest, biggest in the world where Fulanese converge. We have the greatest number of Fulanese in Niger State all over the world. Niger State maintain the greatest number. And these Fulanese are not Fulanese that claim to be Nigerians. He's telling you that they are coming from all over the world and they don't want any single one of them to leave. And that they are still coming. He confirmed that they are still coming and that they are welcoming them in Niger State. And now you ask yourself, if you have a place to give people we don't even know who they are, they come, you give them a place, they build their house, they live, why don't you give the people's land back to them so that they will come out of the IDP camps? You abandon them in IDP camps and you are giving out their lands to the people that are coming from all over the world. We are going.
The fact. What has happened in Nigeria is that most of the time when something comes up today, we never sit back and say, how did we get to this point? We got to this point by virtue of the fact of the effort to remove President Jonathan.
And who is President Jonathan? The same Jonathan that told you he is not an Igbo man. Are you getting the message? He is confirming to you that we are here today because they want to get rid of Jonathan. And I want to prove it to you why all these things are happening. Listen.
Talks about killing your premier. Add on top of that the North's general hate of the East. And you can start to get the picture of the sort of tribal tension Nigeria was heading towards.
One thing I've noticed, Premier, while I've been here, is that Northerners seem to have, I might almost call it, obsession about the Igbos. Could you perhaps explain that to me?
Well, the Igbos are more or less the type of people whose desire is mainly to dominate everybody. If they go to a village, to a town, they want to monopolize everything in that area. If you put them in a labor camp as a laborer, within a year they will try to emerge as headman of that camp, and so on. Well, in the past, our people were not alive to their responsibilities, because you can see from our northernization policy that in 1952, when I came here, there weren't 10 northerners in our civil service here. Then I tried to have it northernized, and now all important posts are being held by northerners.
Is this policy of filling all key posts in the north solely with northerners and not with other Nigerians a temporary or permanent one?
In actual fact, what it is a northerner first. If you can't get a northerner, then we take an expatriate like yourself on contract. If we can't...
Very simple. That is the point I wanted us to get. if we don't get a northerner that will do the job, we'll get an expatriate like you. He even told the British man, like you. So instead of Jonathan to be the president, they don't mind bringing demons from all over the world to come and take over Nigeria. And that is what it is now. You remember the video that explains how they want to make Nigeria a center for Islamic land, where they will be able to attack the whole world from. Have you forgotten that video? I think I will play that video before we go to, if I see it, we will play before we go to the governor of Zamfara state. So continue, Abaribe, continue. You know all this, yet you are fighting us, calling us miscreants.
There had always been this herder farmer class. And which is what happens in Plateau and in Benue State.
I think Benue is the worst hit.
Precisely. Yeah. And you know why? Because most of the banks of the Benue is lush. Because it's watered by the Benue River. And so they want, these people came and they want. And who are these people? And that's a question that we have not dealt with. The bill first said that we have to confine these people to the ranches within their states of origin. And somebody woke up and said, no, every Nigerian has a right to go around. There's no such thing like a state of origin. Why will anybody make that statement? Reason is that in trying to remove Jonathan, there were stateless persons that were from the Sahel region that were imported into Nigeria, and a former chairman of PDP made that statement. I'm not the person that made it.
But that importation is a fact, is it?
That importation is a fact. If you ask any Nigerian Fulani, he will tell you that there's something called the Bororo Fulani. And that Bororo Fulani are these imported ones. They don't own land. Therefore, what they want to do is to settle in Nigeria. They were given free passage, let me just say it, by the Buhari regime. And we were shouting at that time, don't bring people into Nigeria who are not Nigerians. They won't have sympathy. They won't know what has happened. All they want to do is displace you, take over your place, and roam freely within that place.
But they were cattle herders.
Now you get the message. Before we go before we go to the governor, listen to this.
After losing ground in Syria and Iraq, the top general of U.S. Special Operations Command in Africa is warning that Al-Qaeda, ISIS, and other Islamic terror groups are now trying to take over parts of the continent's most populous nation. Major General Dagvin Anderson says Muslim terrorists have set their sights on Nigeria's southern and northwestern regions, and the U.S. is now sharing specific intelligence with the country.
So this intelligence sharing is absolutely vital, and we stay fully engaged with the government of Nigeria to provide them an understanding of what these terrorists are doing.
Their goal? Eventually turn Nigeria into a Muslim country and force Christians.
Not a Muslim country, Islamic country. Islamic country, where you will not have anything like Nigeria army, police, custom. You will have Islamic army, which we have already seen taking place in the northern area. And we have seen them force children, Christian children, to learn forcefully to learn Quranic studies. I've shown the videos here. Nobody will say he did not see it. I've shown the video every time I pop it up, we see it.
Who make up half the country's population to either leave or convert.
Christians are in the eye of the target, and they're coming after them.
Now I have to stop this video here. There's another video I will show you before we end. There's a video I will show you, and you will see in that video how they bite a man before his son, before his daughter. You know why? The Boko Haram, when they come to the house, they took them, they asked the man to krewa in daughter. To krewa in daughter before public, before even his son. The man say no go do that one. There are many things that I don't have to show you. If I show them now, they go block this one. No. They use them, do them like bushmeat. After they do them, they ask the son, oh yeah, clear your sister. I say no. They do them the same thing. You will see this one I go show them because that one no bad, only this story. But there is one that they ask him do. He say no do. They come out here, bam. Do, he say no do. They come out here, bam. You want do with the acid, everything there happens fresh. You want do, bam. They come out. You agree or you no agree, they begin this one. Until they do am, come out all in body. This is what people are facing. Because may God have mercy. Let's quickly listen to the governor of Zamfara State. We move.
Cast the spotlight on one of the most pressing security challenges in Nigeria, Zamfara State, a region once revered for its rich cultural heritage and agricultural wealth, now tragically synonymous with banditry, fear, and relentless violence. For years, Zamfara has been engulfed in a cycle of terror and displacement.
I'm sorry, I have to remove this Facebook because this Facebook is not even healthy now. So if you're watching me from Facebook, I call you to join us on the YouTube or X. Please, I have to remove the Facebook now. Thank you. So we move.
Groups have wreaked havoc, targeting communities, overwhelming local security forces, and making peace and stability seem like distant dreams for the people. But despite government efforts to stem the tide, the attacks persist, leaving many to wonder, what is the path to restoring security? Well, joining me tonight, as I have highlighted initially, is the man in the storm himself. Well, he faces the storm as the executive governor of Zamfara State, Governor Dauda Lawal. Thank you so much, Your Excellency, for joining us on Primetime tonight.
Thank you very much,
We do appreciate your time. We know you're a very busy man, but you've made it all the way to the studio here. We do appreciate it.
It's my pleasure.
Well, let me begin by asking you, Mr. Governor, what is the current situation in Zamfara State for those of us who have not been to Zamfara? And as the Chief Security Officer of the state, what is Zamfara dealing with? It's been a focal point in Nigeria when it comes to security crisis for many years. But what exactly are you dealing with?
Well, let me start by admitting the fact that the state has been in this situation for the past 13 years. It is something that we inherited. And part of what we did, or what we're doing right now, is to make sure we put so much effort. And priority has always been our concern.
Mm-hmm.
That was the reason why, when I came on board, I formed the Community Protection Guard that is called CPG. And the whole essence of this is to complement the effort of the conventional security in terms of combating this menace that we're facing in the state. And I will say that they're doing very well in terms of assisting the conventional security because they understand the trend much better than the conventional security. So they provide the lead. And that is what is happening right now. And so far, we've seen a lot of success. The story is changing. In the past, if you hear anything about Zamfara, you realize that 200 people, 300 people are being killed. But right now, it's not the case. There has been some spontaneous attack here and there, but not the way it used to be in the past. So we're making progress.
But how much of a progress really are you making? Because we still hear of, bandits making claims, asking people for levies before they can go to the farms, attacks here and there. So really, how much of a success would you say you have recorded with this local security you've put in place?
Some weeks back, I went around all the local government in the states, and I've seen the level of agricultural development this time around, which wasn't the case in the past. So that is to show you that something is being done, and that is why people now have the ability to go to their farms and farm. That is ongoing. And of course, it's a state that has been in this situation, like I said, for the past 13 years. So there will always be issues here and there, saying all sorts of things. And remember also, some are just for negative reason, not for the positive aspects. Because some would rather see everything negative about security so that they can use that against you. But the reality is we are making significant progress. If you have time, I will take you around the state for you to go and see. They said seeing is believing. So yes, we're making progress.
Indeed. So, what have you been able to attribute to this success recorded by the local security you've put in place that the conventional security has not been able to do for the past 13 years? What are they doing differently?
First of all, there's the political will on my own part as a governor. And I've taken security as one of the major issue, number one, under my administration, which was the reason why we formed the CPG. And also, we're spending so much to make sure we have intelligence information in terms of movement of these people, which is being provided by the locals. And there's so much community awareness now for people to be able to report any suspicious movement by these people. And it's making things much easier than the way things used to be. So the political will is number one. And that is why we're making this significant progress. Security is key to everything, without which there will be no meaningful development. That is the difference.
Great. And as I recall, this was set up about 7 months ago.
Absolutely.
Less than a year.
Yeah.
But it has also had its own challenges. You've had to replace the commandant. You've had 2 commandants in the space of 7 months. So there have been controversies with even the local security.
You can never have a perfect system. But along the line, there will always be challenges. The essence is to learn from those challenges. If we realize in the course of doing this, there are issues here and there, then we need to take reactive measures in order to guard against future occurrence of such challenges. That was the reason why we had to replace some. If there's anybody with questionable character in the course of doing their job, of course it's our duty to make sure we take care of that situation. That is why you see some of these changes, and it's ongoing.
Okay, but the story that was out there with the change of the commandant was that he raised some concerns and accusations that the outfit is not being equipped and is not being funded to fight the war you have set it up for. And then he was changed a couple of weeks after.
That is not true. If you had listened to the police when he was arrested and interrogated, it was a different story. What we found out was that he was fully involved in that operation in Mada. The records are there. You can get this information from the Commissioner of Police in Zamfara State. So it's not true.
Great. Mr. Governor, I'd like to take you back to my first question when I asked you about what your state was actually dealing with. Because we hear banditry in Zamfara in the northwest of Nigeria. But by our understanding, and the simplest definition of banditry, involves groups of armed thieves. So these are thieves with just arms. Yet the challenge seems, grave, of that the northwest, and particularly Zamfara state, is not able to deal with group of thieves who have arms. So do you feel the narrative is correct to say what you're dealing with in your state is banditry, or is it something more grave than that?
Well, I mean, it all depends on classification. You can call them bandits, you can call them thieves, you can call them any name. But my understanding is what will be the reason for these banditry activities. That's number one. Two, Zamfara play a dominant role in terms of the banditry because this is where they hibernate. They move from Zamfara to Katsina, Niger, Kaduna, Sokoto, and so on and so forth. And it's the responsibility of federal government to provide safety of people, lives and property, which is the security forces that include the military, the police, as well as civil defense. Yeah, they're doing their best. However, there's a need to do more to deal with these guys decisively. Like I said, we know where these guys are. We know where they live. We know their parents.
You know them as a government.
Of course we do. So what is the reason? What are they fighting for? This is the question.
Have you been able to find an answer to that question?
That is still what we're trying to do, because I cannot understand why. And imagine if today they're going after government officials. They say, okay, they have grievances with government officials, but they kill innocent people that barely even eat 1 square meal in a day. What could have been the reason? That must be crazy. And that is still what we're trying to find out. And to deal with that is you need to deal with these people decisively.
And in taking that decisive measures, let's talk about the role of the federal government in all of this. Because so far it's been your effort we've talked about. How much of an influence does the federal government have in, or has in, fighting this war with you in Zamfara state? What's been the involvement of federal government?
Security situation is not just for Zamfara. It's across all the northern part. However, Zamfara play a dominant role in terms of the banditry because this is where they hibernate. They move from Zamfara to Katsina, Niger, Kaduna, Sokoto, and so on and so forth. And it's the responsibility of federal government to provide safety of people, lives and property, which is the security forces that include the military, the police, as well as civil defense. Yeah, they're doing their best. However, there's a need to do more to deal with these guys decisively. Like I said, we know where these guys are. We know where they live. We know their parents.
You know them as a government.
Of course we do. They live with the same community we live.
So why is it difficult to get them?
That is the $1 million question that I should ask you.
We are trying.
Hallelujah. We have been vindicated. Lord, everybody, if you are coming in late, I greet you. This is the point everybody need to understand. He said, like I said before, we know these guys. We know where they live. We know their mothers. We know their papas. We know everything about them. Then the journalist asks, then why can't you go after them? That is the question he himself cannot answer. Do you know why? Because the power that kept him there as the governor is the same power that kept them there as the terrorists. Can't you see he cannot even call them terrorists? He called them bandits as well. Are you getting the message? When a governor of a state knows the people that are these terrorists in his state, he knows their houses. Probably some of them are his schoolmates. Some of them are his peer group, youth, age mate, age grade. But he cannot do anything. Why? Because power from above have not given you order. So if you dare go close, you'll be destroyed. This is just the story. The summary of the whole thing that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu have been crying and shouting. I want our people to understand this. Are you seeing the reason why we are fighting? Because when you are thinking, don't worry, government army, General Musa and Co are going to exterminate them. Who tell you? This is a place where these terrorists abduct military officers, and the military have to pay ransom to get their officers back, or military have to exchange maybe hundreds of them for one officer. If you watch them, they are always abducting the officers. They took officers, that's high-ranking officers. They don't have anything to do with their recruit. You get the message? So now, and today, am I lying? Those people that say we have been lying, hey, you are deceiving people. That's so that they deceive people. When I go just go there, tell people lies, they go they believe, they do negative things. Are you seeing it? Am I the one telling you this story now? Are we listening at all? I showed us the other day how Christian children have been forced and are still being forced to study Quranic studies instead of your Christian studies. Are we seeing it? And I showed you of a governor. Is it former governor? I think, I don't know if it's former Zamfara governor that told you that their mission is to make sure they turn Nigeria into Islamic nation. You have seen Islamic police. You have seen Islamic army. You have seen Islamic court. You have seen Islamic judge, Islamic lawyers. That means as a Wudite lawyer Ejiofor is there are some lawyers or lawyers with that portfolio in the north that are Sharia lawyers. And you are here planning for 2027 that is a mirage already. A mirage. Before you start thinking of 2027, it's a mirage. I want those that are believing P2B to be their president or even their vice president to remember what Abaribe said. And now you will understand that all these politicians are wicked people. Have you seen why they refuse to support P2B? Because they know supporting P2B is as useless as using your leg to go to heaven on foot. They knew that supporting P2B is like trekking from this planet Earth to the other beyond the sky. If they knew already that Funani told you that hell will fall. They dip their Quran in the water. They draw down the heaven down for Jonathan to disappear from Asorok. You think they will make that mistake again? And I want you to remember, Jonathan was never like he was elected. Normally, he came out to campaign and was it? No. Is that incumbency that kept Jonathan there, that took Jonathan there, that swore Jonathan in as a governor? Had it not been that he was like vice to the dead Yaradua, he wouldn't have smelled there. Me and you, we know all this. And the greatest mistake they made was allowing an Igbo man to be a vice. That they will never do again. That they will never do again. If you think I am lying, let P2B go and team up with somebody like Atiku. It will not work. He can't go. Atiku will not take him again because Atiku took him before and they failed Atiku because of P2B, because they don't want anything Igbo. And they have Funani agenda. You are bringing Igbo man for us to do what? Despite P2B is as willing as anything to do anything, they don't need him. So those people that are following, rallying around, calling obedient, this you not the deceive on themselves. I want us to hear him again as he repeat what he said. Listen again.
The police as well as civil defense. Yeah, they're doing their best.
I'm cleaning my ears.
However, there's a need to do more to deal with these guys decisively. Like I said, we know where these guys are. We know where they live. We know their parents.
You know them as a government.
Of course we do. They live with the same community we live.
So why is it difficult to get them?
That is the $1 million question that I should ask you. These guys decisively. Like I said, we know where these guys are. We know where they live. We know their parents.
You know them as a government.
Of course we do.
Who the in short, in case you know understand who in the talk, he is not telling you he know President Buhari. He is not telling you he know ministers. He know P2B. He know any other thing. He is not telling you he know Nigerian government or functionaries or police officers or military officers. This is why when you see T.Y. Danjuma come out yesterday and tell you that the what do you call them? The military, not only the military, that the security forces collude with these terrorists. Now today he came back to tell you, military, go and fight them. When you already, I want us to get the message. He has been told to come and correct the narrative he passed out yesterday to people. Are you getting the message? T.Y. Danjuma came out before and he told us that these people called Boko Haram and all the other people that are buying people and taking over their land, that they collude with the police, army, custom, everybody, even with government, that you must defend yourself. If you are waiting for anybody to defend you, you will all die one by one. That is what he said. And today, surprisingly, the same General Danjuma came out and told military, go and fight the Boko Haram. Is it Are we listening? Who is a baby? It's only when, and you see the whole news is carrying it, all the media, newspaper, Nigerian televisions, carrying it, all that, discussing it, about it, saying it, Rufai, all of them are telling you how Danjuma is selling Musa and the Nigerian army to go and fight insecurity. Is it possible? Can you fight your own? Didn't you hear what this governor is telling you now? Can you fight your own? Danjuma as well knew these people one-on-one, knew their houses, know their local government, like what we are saying. Have we not seen them being crown king in communities? And we saw the presence of Nigeria Army, Nigeria Police, local government chairman. What happened? Did anybody arrest anybody? No. And yet, they are wanted people. Yet, Musa is looking for them. You are looking for somebody that is a traditional ruler in his community. Ah, Musa. No. Make we know that I dey laugh because no be better laugh, na anger laugh me I dey laugh so. Chief of Defense Staff Musa will come out any moment to tell you that they are fighting, combating them. Oh, Obama. Musa have never applied asymmetric warfare against these terrorists. He has never applied what's the other one? Asymmetric warfare, or jungle warfare. Is it jungle warfare? I think jungle warfare, asymmetric warfare, and which one again? I think there are 3 types of warfare he said they are applying in Biafra land, but he has never applied one single one in the north. Yet, these are the criminals you know, not seeing them on TV, not seeing them on newspaper. He know them as you can see them like this telephone, touch them like this telephone, know where they are staying as you know that I am staying inside here. This is my curtain. You know their house. You can visit their house. You and him can sit down in a bar and drink. You can go to the same masalachi, that's the same church, and pray. Yet, you cannot dare to touch him. They are the anointed ones now. You know that? You remember, touch not my anointed, do my prophet no harm. Have you forgotten that saying? We are saying, look, I remember this. You remember that? You remember it? Boko Haram bandits are northern freedom fighters at the Mugaba. Did anything happen? Did anybody do anything? Did anybody condemn it? And you are here. As if that was not enough. What about this? Insecurity. Fulani herdsmen aren't bandits, but militant fighting ethnic war. Sheikh Gumi. Are you getting the thing? If you know they get the thing, I go to tell you the thing until you understand the thing. I want me we they understand where we are going and where we are coming from. If you don't know your history, you will never have a vision. No, this one no follow. This one no follow. I just want me we understand where we are going. What is happening? Are you getting the message? I want us to listen again. Listen to him.
Talked about how much of an influence does the federal government have in or has in fighting this war with you in Zamfara state? What's been the involvement of the federal government?
Security situation is not just for Zamfara. It's across all the northern part. However, Zamfara play a dominant role in terms of the banditry because this is where they hibernate. They moved from Zamfara to Katsina, Niger, Kaduna, Sokoto, and so on and so forth. And you know, it's the responsibility of federal government to provide safety of people, lives and property, which is the security forces that include the military, the police, as well as civil defense. Yeah, they're doing their best. However, there's a need to do more to deal with these guys decisively. Like I said, we know where these guys are. We know where they live. We know their parents.
You know them as a government?
Of course we do.
Do you know them as a government, or you know them as before? He said, of course I do. That is, he knew them now. Now that we're here talking, he knew them. A governor of a state is telling you he know these terrorists one-on-one. But can you touch them? Can you send military to fight them? Can you send police? Why now? That question passed me. That is what he told the journalist here. Listen to him.
They live with the same community we live.
So why is it difficult to get them?
That is the $1 million question that I should ask you.
We are trying to understand, for those of us who are now conversant with Zamfara, have never been there, and we hear you as a chief security officer speak tonight to say you know these people, but yet you can't get them. It's a head scratcher.
It is something that we are trying to all put our heads together. That is why, from what I can do as a governor, to have this CPG as a first line of defense. Of course, military are there, police are there, as well as civil defense, but they are not under my control. They are under the control of federal government, and they are doing their best. Like I said,
are you getting the message? You have security. Oh, Nigeria. Hey, freedom of my people. I greet you. Well done. I see you and they see your hard work. Now, I want to make you understand something. You form, just like former Benue State Governor Otto. He formed a security. After forming the security, to fight against the people that are buying their people. When the security arrested the headers, when they enter village, and security, then firstly, they buy the Fulani headers that came to their communities. Federal government questions, queries them, autumn. Okay, we will not buy them again. Arrest them and hand them over to authorities. They say, okay. They arrest them, hand them over to authority. They ask autumn, why are you disturbing them? They are only headers. By the way, you don't even have authority to give gun to this your security. They collected all the guns. Are you getting the message? They took away every arm from the people, from the security or Benue State security, formed by the same governor of the state. Sitting governor, I'm not telling you of ex. Autumn, go and check the history. They took away every arm given to them. Autumn have to surrender everything. Then they ask the people, you can go and the cash. Oh, they ask Autumn, your security can arrest them. Now, the security foolishly went and they tried to arrest these Fulani headers with big machine guns, and they finished all of them. That was the end of the Autumn security in Benue State during his term. That was the end. Are you getting the message? So this same governor is telling us that he has formed a group, a CCG or whatever he call it, to curb the insecurity in Zamfara State, but it's not under his control. It's under the federal government control. The same federal government. Listen, I am asking a question. You know the people, you know their houses, you know their father houses, you know where they sleep. Why don't you go and arrest them? Even I'm not talking of going and bombing them. Go and arrest them now. Why do you leave them? You see them physically with you, you let them go. Then in the daytime, you carry up your arms, going into the forest to tell me you are going to look for them. Who is deceiving who? Who is deceiving who? Do you understand the scenario? This one na movie. All these people where they act movie, why not know the comedy even? Why not know the actor? The governor told us now that they know these terrorists, they know their houses, they know their father, they know their sibling, they know their children, they know everything. Not, say you might be thinking you know me now. For instance, Triple M, you think you know me. You don't know me because you only see me on the screen. But they are telling you of the people they know their houses. Know them when they go out and come back as a government, as a governor of the state. You are not arresting them. You are not fighting them. Now, you leave them. Then, una go inside forest, go they look for the people when they live with you in the same community. Who they deceive who now? I don't know if somebody is getting what I'm thinking. What I'm saying, I mean. You have somebody, you know his community, you know his house, you know his family, you know his church, you know his business. You don't want to touch him more. Then you will carry your weapons, arms, and go inside forest to look for the person that is in your community. Who is a fool now? I will rewind it again for you to understand what I'm saying, so you don't think I'm just hold on. Let's see. Listen again.
Forces that include the military, the police, as well as civil defense. Yeah, they're doing their best.
I want you to listen now. Listen, so you don't think I'm just condemning. I'm not condemning him because this is beyond him. Because he said that question, me, I no go fit answer him. That's what he mean by it. That's a million question to answer. Are you getting the message? So this insecurity is even beyond Tinubu, because the people that met Tinubu met the same insecurity. The people that are keeping Tinubu on that seat today, that don't want to take that seat out of Tinubu Pampas Bomb, are the same people that are keeping the insecurity. Are you getting it? It's just like you were employed with two of you. You went to search for a job, and two of you were employed the same day. And in the morning, you wake up and ask your colleague that was employed the same time with you, you give him a sack letter. You have sacked him. He will laugh at you now. You say yourself, you think say you did correct. Because two of you are serving the same organ. So this governor, Tinubu, the bandits or the terrorists are being protected or covered by the same immune, the same incumbency where cover this man, cover Tinubu, cover them. The same hand that made this one, made the other one, made the other one. So you can't fight the other one. The hand they go say, you, I put something for your mouth, you want to go come out another man. Listen again.
However, there's a need to do more to deal with these guys decisively. Like I said, we know where these guys are. We know where they live. We know their parents.
You know them as a government.
Of course we do.
Then if you know them, why are you looking for, why do you go to Sambisa Forest to look for them? Why are you going to Sambisa? I don't know if somebody is getting me. You know I am here. It's just the same thing. Nigeria knew that Simon Ekpa is in Finland, and they are telling you, if anybody know how to get Simon, come and get Simon Ekpa. We will give you awesome reward. And the same Simon Ekpa is telling you, I am open. Here is my house number. Here is my residence number. Here is my office number. Here is my car number. Come, I am open for discussion. And you are looking for him on social media. Are you getting the message? That's what they are doing. He knows he cannot fight them. They know they cannot fight these terrorists. That's why they come to Musa. Know he can't fight them. Musa knows that he cannot fight. What they do is just once in a while they just go and attack them and they buy some of them. Finish. When they buy some of them, they go show you the video where they buy some of them. It will remain. Maybe it will tear, and all you will be hearing, Nigeria Army disseminated 1,000 insurgent group or 2,000 insurgent group. Another one is when you hear the disseminate 1,000, wait and see. It will not be long. You will hear that same number they told you they wiped out are now repented. They have gone under colonization of Nigeria Army or colonization of police, and they have repented, and they are now going to wear uniform, and they are now going to carry arms as police or army or immigration, and they will be pushed to Biafra land. Watch out. Anytime you hear that they have neutralized any amount of all this Boko Haram and co, wait, just wait. It will not be long. You hear that so many people have graduated. Some repentant Boko Harams or terrorists have repented, and they have went to the school of colonization or recolonization or rehabilitation or rehabilitation rehab, and they are now being integrated back into the society. Some will go to police, some will go to army, and some will go into the community, and some will still go back and carry arms and continue what they were doing. So when you hear this kind of story, you will ask yourself, do you know what it is like? I have this phone. I don't know how to explain this. I have this phone here, and this telephone have the number of God. You know, today pastors can call God on telephone. God have mercy on me. Today pastor can call God on telephone. So this telephone can call God, and God will answer, and God will talk to you. And then I have this telephone. I don't want to call God though with this telephone. I will leave this telephone and go to mountain and start calling God. When I know that if I come back to my house, as I'm sitting down, I will call, hello God, I need Biafra now. You will say, okay, tomorrow I will get my Biafra. I will not do it. I will leave it and go to mountain and start, oh God, come. God, come and answer me, I need Biafra. It's what it looks like, because these people are the terrorists you are in the same community with. You know them one-on-one. Even as a government, you know them, yet you can't touch them. Are you going to touch them when you see them inside the Sambisa forest? No, forget that I'm laughing, but it's the reality. So this is beyond him. He don't like it. That is why you see him coming out to cry. He is concerned. But there is nothing he can do about it. Can't do anything about it. Listen.
However, there's a need to do more to deal with these guys decisively. Like I said, we know where these guys are. We know where they live. We know their parents.
You know them as a government?
Of course we do. They live with the same community we live.
So why is it difficult to get them?
So when anybody is telling you they are searching for these terrorists, they want to arrest them, they want to wipe them out, tell that person to go and sleep. When Musa come out to talk, tell Musa to go and hide. Musa told you last week that they are going to wipe out the terrorists. They are going to murder or arrest or finish Tuji Bello, Tuji or Tuji Bello. But somebody is telling you he knows. Let Musa come and call out this governor and tell him, show me where this man there. Because Musa himself knows them. Musa himself knows them, knows where they are. All of them knows. It's just like the story of Canon Takano telling you when they were accusing him, he come and say, even all of you in DOS knows what happened to Nnamdi Kanu. And you are calling me. That is the same thing. All of them, they knows about these terrorists. They know them one-on-one.
That is the $1 million question that I should ask you.
We are trying to understand, for those of us who are now conversant with Zamfara, have never been there, and we hear you as a chief security officer speak tonight to say, you know these people, but yet you can't get them. It's a head scratcher.
It is.
It's not a mistake. He admitted it again and again and again. Yes, we know them. He is not telling you, I know them. We know them. The government know them. And the journalist asked him, you know them as a person or as a government? He said, yes, we know them as government. Are you getting the message? We know them as government, not as a person. I would want it for you to get that because I forgot to explain that later. Listen, we know, he said, we know them, where they live, where they sleep, where they go to, where they laugh, where they play, where they do marriage. And the lady asked him, do you know them as government or what? He said, yes, as government. Listen again.
They live with the same community we live.
So why is it difficult to get them?
That is the $1 million question that I should ask you.
We are trying to understand, for those talked about, how much of an influence does the...
Hold on. I want to get that, please.
However,
listen,
there's a need to do more to deal with these guys decisively. Like I said, we know where these guys are. We know where they live. We know their parents.
You know them.
Listen now. Do you know them as government?
The government?
Of course we do. They live with the same community we live.
So why is it difficult to get them?
That is the $1 million question that I should ask you.
We are trying to understand, for those of us who are now conversant with Zamfara, have never been there, and we hear you as a chief security officer speak tonight to say, you know these people, but yet you can't get them. It's a head scratcher.
It is something that we are trying to all put our heads together. That is why, from what I can do as a governor, to have...
In a country knows the terrorists, knows where they stay, know their houses, know their cars, know their supermarkets, know when they sit down and when they rest and when they sleep, know their bedroom. Yet they are planning and putting heads together to combat with them in Sambisa forest. Simple message. And you also know that they recruit. You will wait, you will listen. Nigeria will wait until they recruit. After recruiting, they will go and meet them inside Sambisa forest to combat them. Why don't you stop them from recruiting? Are you getting the message? You will see them giving people that other taxes. You will not talk. When they collect the taxes, you come out and condemn it and tell us you are going to finish them. Who don't understand that this is the same people? I pity you.
Use CPG as a first line of defense. Of course, military are there, police are there, as well as civil defense, but they are not under my control.
Are you getting it? He formed the DCPCG to curb insecurity, but they are not under his control. Do you know what it is like? Our Prime Minister will come out now and tell you that we have BLA, BDF, Navy, Air Force, but they are not under my control. They are under the control of Nigeria government. Do you think do you think our Prime Minister will be okay to announce that to you? That means Nigeria government is in charge. Are you getting it? So when you see these criminals coming out to tell you that they have sold ESN to the governors, what happened? They turned them to Babago, isn't it? And then you come to understand that there are hungry hunters that were waiting to eat those lions, and they ate up the whole lions. There are no more lions. So this man formed this security organization to cover security, but they are not under his control. Why? A million questions to answer. Very simple. You get the message. If you don't get it, you leave it.
They are under the control of federal government, and they are doing their best. And like I said also, our security forces have the ability to crush these guys.
But they are not.
They're trying their best.
Trying their best.
Like what happened within the last 3 days when one of the major kingpin, Halilu Sububu, was killed. It is a combination of both military as well as the CPG and the community that made it possible. And I commend them for that.
Okay, I wanted to take you back to one of the questions you raised tonight about what is fueling this in Zamfara, because you seem to say, I mean, it doesn't look like there's a religion undertone to it. The people they kill are also poor, so they're
very poor for that matter.
So there is no
barely surviving.
To go after them. But there's a question of the mining, the natural resources in Zamfara state. Don't you think that is enough to fuel all of this in Zamfara state? And I wanted you to answer if the ban placed by the federal government is still in place on mining in your state.
The ban has been in place since 2018, so it's nothing new. I also met it. What I did on my own part is to also make sure the traditional institution do not give this consent form or consent letter for any mining activity in Zamfara state. And it's one reason why we had to issue an executive order that will stop giving out consent letters on mining by traditional rulers. Now, yes, there is a kind of correlation between insecurity and mining. And that's the reason why we're making conscious effort to have a clear understanding between the state and the federal government on what will be the best way to go about it. Of course, it's about revenue as far as I'm concerned. If we're able to get it together and make it functional, that means there's an additional revenue that will be coming to state government, which will be used in making some significant projects that will be for the benefit of our people. And I'm happy there's that synergy now between the state and the federal government in terms of mining activities on what will be the way forward. We're trying to fine-tune the whole thing.
Okay, so if I understand you, this ban on mining that has been in place hasn't really shifted the needle in terms of the nexus between mining or illegal mining and security in the state.
What I'm hearing is that some of the bandits are also engaged in some mining activities.
Are you getting the message? When I explain it here, people will say that one na mumu, they deceive people. Are you hearing it from him? The same people they are calling bandit, we know say they do be bandit. They are in charge of the mining. Despite the so-called government of Nigeria, Zoo, have told you that they put ban, they seal that there should be no mining in Zamfara, they are still mining and they are giving contracts, signing contract with Chinese company. Yet, Nigeria did not stop the Chinese company from mining. Have you seen a land? And the George Bello came out openly to tell the whole world, tell Nigeria that he is the governor of the forest. Nobody can control the forest. Nobody can take it from him. That this gold and the minerals in the forest of Zamfara is under his control. Nobody can come there. So when government of Nigeria told you that they have placed ban on the mining in Zamfara, if it is true that they put ban, why is it that Tuji Bello terrorist organization with other people are still mining? Signing contract with foreign people to come and mine. And today, I thank God this governor has confirmed it all.
We're trying to fine-tune the whole thing.
Okay, so if I understand you, this ban on mining that has been in place hasn't really shifted the needle in terms of the nexus between mining or illegal mining and security in the state.
What I'm hearing is that some of the bandits are also engaged in some mining activities. For example, the guy that was killed 3 days ago, the Halilu Subu. But the rest are just artisanal miners, so to say. So it is something, like I say, we're trying to fine-tune to understand what is really happening and what would be the best way to make it effective and functional, so that in the long run, there will be revenue coming to both federal and the state government. And it's ongoing.
Okay. For those who don't understand how our constitution works and the power sharing formula of the exclusive, the concurrent lists and all of that, as to why the governor and the chief security officer of the state seems powerless. Let me ask you, if the reverse were the case, if you had the powers as the governor of Zamfara State, what would you do differently?
What I will do differently is to go in there and crush these guys within the shortest possible time, because...
Are you getting the message? He don't have the power to crush them. He can crush them, but he cannot crush them at the same time. I don't know if you are getting what I'm saying. He can do it, but the power limitation is there. He has been told, do not go there. Are you getting the message? It's just like God creating Adam in the Garden of Eden, tell him, this fruit eat, this fruit eat, this one in the middle don't eat. That's just the same thing. Adam and Eve have the power to take from the fruit and eat, but the consequences after eating it, are they ready to face the consequences? That's just the same thing from this governor here telling you, if you allow him, do you know what he's saying? A governor is telling you, if you allow me, I will just go there and crush it. That means he cannot do it. And nobody's going to do that. This country, they sweet, oh, it is sweet, oh, very sweet country like that I never see. Very sweet country. Honestly, the thing they sweet guy. What a sweet people and a sweet country. Ford, you are welcome, Jare. You are welcome, my brother.
Mazugo, good evening. Mazugo, yes, Nigeria. Okay, now you hear me? Huh?
Very well, my brother.
Yeah, Nigeria, that country is unbelievable. You know, these people, for me, always, because for me, it's all about the big picture, you know, and it's unfortunate that most people either they don't see the big picture or they are pretending not to see it, whatever it is. I don't know. But for me, I know that every of these things, you know, they accumulate into one big agenda. That is that they're using all this terrorism, Boko Haram, Bandits, whatever they call them, they're using it for one big purpose. And that is, you know, so that's the notion that people continue to pretend as if they don't know that making Nigeria eventually, slowly but surely, an Islamic entity. That is what it's all about. There's this guy, this Abdul Salami. That guy is one of the proponents. Abdul Salami, for Christ's sake, is one of maybe the highest, if not the highest, proponent of Islamizing Nigeria. You know what? He not only did he created the 1999 Constitution that introduced Sharia into the Constitution, which that on its own alone is aberration. It's a crime. It's not in accordance with the Constitution of Nigeria. In 1999, without consultation, without anything, they just put it there and they implemented it. So what he's been doing now for some years is that anywhere there's election, you see Abdul
Salam. Anyway, I'm waiting for you. You come back and continue. He's talking about Abdul Salam Abubakar. We'll continue. Listen.
They are under my command. But right now, they're not under my command. So I have to rely on federal government to give instructions. And that is why this collaboration between the state and federal government is important. And for now, it's kind of seamless. And this is one of the reasons why we're able to get this guy and kill him 3 days ago. So my prayer now is to sustain this effort. If we're able to sustain and take the war to them, not wait until when they are attacked, I think within the shortest possible time, it will be a different story.
I was trying to upgrade. They tried to upgrade, but this thing, they give me problem. But anyway, so my point is that this Abdul Salami, people, they don't tend to understand the game of that guy. Everywhere election day, be it presidential, be it senate, whatever, be it state, whatever, you go carry paper come, say peace accord, make them sign peace accord. The intention of the peace accord is to stop you from being able to do something when they rig election. So when you sign peace accord, that is why the Benin guy say, they sign nothing. Because in 2023, they sign it, that presidential election. And many other ones, when they sign it, now they will use the same INEC because the same system owns INEC and the judiciary. So if the rig election come out from your hand, you will have no ground to make trouble or to protest because you've signed peace accord. Then they put the agenda, put the person who go work with them to push the agenda. They put the person there, like the Tunubus of this or the Muslim, And they're trying to do it in all the states because APC is an Islamic party. That one, everybody must understand that. APC is leading the Islamization agenda. So anywhere they install their person, like the Hopus or the Mars of this world, then will begin to push the agenda to allow these Sahel region Fulanis and terrorists to come into the place. It's a pity. That is what is going on. But people don't, like I said, they don't look deep enough to understand the game they are playing.
Yeah, he is not just peace accord, but they are using that peace accord to deceive people. It's actually a kind of agreement, or do I say it's an oath. Whatever happens, you must take it like that. You don't have to argue. The highest argument you will do is you are going to court, and you are going to court knowing already that what has been done. The deed has been done. You can't change it. And you will not say it's an oath.
Yeah, the court belongs to them too. They own the judiciary, the court. So this peace accord that Abdul Salami is parading around is in pursuance of the Islamic nation they are pushing. I am telling you the gospel truth. Peace accord. So that the highest you go do is to go to that court. And when you go to court, we already know what will happen from the court. So like I said, it's just unfortunate that people, either they don't look deep enough to understand that water won't swallow them for Nigeria. Nigeria, water won't swallow everybody, for they don't know what is coming. But thank goodness for Biafra, because because Biafra is gone. That's for sure, you know. So all the good now. Kambia tunye ligi wobele super chat ki we kampu go out tunye ligi super chat, you know na map. I'll come back.
Thank you so much. Okay, so my people, okay, let's just hear this final part, then we see the other video I want us to see.
Interesting. Let's talk about more efforts. There have been previous efforts to negotiate with bandits in the past. Previous administrations across various parties and various states had tried it.
Did it work?
Well, it appeared.
Was there any difference?
But there was a channel.
Was there any significant changes?
Those are valid questions, but it did happen.
I'm asking you.
Well, we heard stories of how they failed, but initially they were set up. So the question is...
That is the reason why I said, for me,
yes,
I will not negotiate with a bandit.
Great. Mr. Governor, let me just ask you the question, because
yes,
I was laying a background to it. That
okay.
It's been one of the options that some governments have explored. And you made the headlines late last year when you accused the federal government of negotiating with bandits in your state without your knowledge. I believe the phrase you used was clandestine negotiations. So they do exist. Why don't you want to explore that? Is it because they have failed in the past, as you have highlighted?
Adesha, this is not the first time we had of such understanding or negotiation, to call it, between federal government or even the state government and the bandits. The question is, did that yield any results? Why didn't the killings stop? That's the question. So that means something fundamental is wrong. And if you realize something is wrong, then you need to really change your tactics. And that is why from day one I said, I will not negotiate with any bandit. The only condition that I will is when they lay their arms with a very clear term without any condition attached to it.
How much of that have you seen? Has it worked either?
For me, as a layman, what I believe is you don't negotiate at the point of weakness. You only negotiate at the point of strength. And that is the only way these people understand you're serious and you're committed. And you have spiritual power.
Okay, that is very well and very good. We got the message very clearly. For the Scotch, thank you so much, my brother. Thank you for the Thank you for the gift of super chat or thanks anyone. Thank you for the sticker. Thank you so much. So I want us to watch this clip before now. Let's just watch this clip. I want us to watch this clip. And then I'm looking for a place to put the clip reversed for us. Okay, let's just watch the clip. I want you to watch. Watch. I believe it's this. Watch.
Nigeria maybe now is the most dangerous country for Christians in the world.
Nigeria, known as the giant of Africa, is the continent's biggest economy and largest democracy, with a population projected to become the world's third largest by 2050. It's also the world's largest mixed Muslim-Christian nation.
In Nigeria, we have as a population 210 million people. And I want to be precise, almost the 50% are Christians. And so Christians are Nigeria. Christians aren't guests.
A vibrant Nigeria could serve as a growth engine for the whole continent. A failed one would be a source of instability and violence. Nigeria has been in the news lately because of the recent elections. The country is at an inflection point, with over 60% of the population living in poverty, while security crises, including kidnapping and terrorism, have multiplied. Bola Tinubu, a political kingmaker, was declared the winner of the presidential election after a tight race marred by accusations of vote rigging and the lowest turnout ever recorded. One of the issues that weighed heavily during the elections was Boko Haram, a terrorist group responsible for the deaths of more than 75,000 Nigerians.
In the 2022, in Nigeria, 28 priests were kidnapped, and 3 of them were killed. And so it's unacceptable, the silence of the Western countries.
Boko Haram, which means Western education is forbidden, seeks to overthrow the current Nigerian government and replace it with a regime based on Islamic law. The group has repeatedly targeted secular schools, including the kidnapping of over 200 schoolgirls in 2014. Maria Joseph and Janeda Marcus were invited.
I want you to listen to the story of this young girl you are seeing on the screen, Maria Joseph. Just listen to the story.
To Italy on behalf of Aid to the Church in Need, a pontifical foundation which supports Christian victims around the world. They hosted an encounter for the media with Janeda and Maria called Listen Also to Their Cries, aimed at bringing attention to the suffering, persecution, and violence that many women face around the world. Janeda and Maria both suffered greatly at the hands of Boko Haram. Witnessing the killing of family, Janeda saw her father beheaded in front of her, killed because he refused to have sex with his daughter. Maria spent 9 years as a captive of the terror group. She saw her brother cut to pieces, while her sister is still in captivity. The importance of their faith during their period of captivity was instrumental in keeping them alive. This was something that was echoed in both testimonies. Janeda Marcus spoke about the importance of her mother praying for her during her period of captivity.
My faith, that time when that thing happened, like me, I even tell my mother that let us join them, but my mother didn't allow us to do. She used to pray every time for us. When we come out and I see that all the things that they are telling us is no good. Always their thing is like they turn it off. They will tell you to be a Christian is a bad thing, their own is a good one.
They were accompanied on their journey by Father Joseph Fidelis, a priest of the Diocese of Maiduguri in Borno State, Nigeria. Father Joseph is a trained psychologist and heads the Diocesan Trauma Center, where both women received psychological care to aid in their recovery.
I have seen so much suffering in their faces and experienced so much that they have gone through. Sometimes I feel devastated. All I do is go back to my small chapel and pray. But when I meet some suffering higher than my own, I say, Lord, help me. How do I help these people?
But there is hope for the girls. Janeda Marcus is back living at home with her mother and siblings, studying tropical medicine. Maria Joseph is in school, learning to read and write.
My people who suffer need someone to go alongside with them. And I think the Lord is there, even in our suffering, even more in our suffering, because He's always on the side of the marginalized, the afflicted, and the suffering.
As Janeda and Maria head back to Nigeria, we keep them and all female victims of violence in our prayers.
Some days ago in Nigeria, there has been an election, and we want to hope and we are praying about a change in the direction of the political approach, hoping in a guarantee of the safety for our brothers in the faith, because otherwise it's very difficult for them to remain there.
All right, you're welcome back. So we should be rounding up now. I will be here for almost 2 and just about 2 and 20 minutes now. And I'm begging everybody, try and like anywhere you're watching us from. If you're watching from X, that's Twitter, try and like. From YouTube, like, please. We are no longer streaming to Facebook. So try and like our video so that, this is one of the videos they will ask you to put down after streaming. So you liking it, the number of like, that's why it's important to like it. The more you like it, the lesser the chances they have in marking the video red or yellow, because when you don't have when the video don't have enough like, and maybe the video have like 1,000 views and have 100 likes, that means the 1,000 people don't like it, so they are likely to put yellow or red. Mostly in a video like this I'm talking about, not in a normal video. In a video like this that YouTube or other social media don't want to see. So please do me a favor and like this so that the video will still be there and other people will see it. As you can see now, these only channels I have. This only channel I have. The other one, after almost 1 year now, they are not letting it go. I'm still having problems there. So, my brother Ford, you're welcome back.
Well done, Mazu. Yeah, so that is the situation we find ourselves, but we keep pushing no matter how hard they try, so then they sometimes say, then they block me, do this, do that, but we never give up, we keep pushing, Thank you so much. Yeah, it's like 2 hours you've been on air now, and I'm sure you are rounding up. So I just want to say that, like I said earlier, the zoo is gone. Anybody who doesn't
because you come here, God knows say that they disturb you, so the Kukuma kick you come out. Oh boy. It is well, we must continue to do the needful. We must continue to fight. We are not going to stop. When you see what is going on in the government now, you will understand. Yeah, Orabueze, my brother, I greet you. How you did? The living man, I greet you. Everybody, Juliana, and they want everyone here. love and the respect to you all. I love you all with the same amount of love. I love you. Lost your hour. Sorry, my brother. So, like I said, let me check if there is any update from the Prime Minister before we try and see how we are rounding up. Allah, Allah, Allah. So, like I was saying, we will continue to do whenever the IPOB Nigeria criminals are bragging about our. Yeah, it's the video, and we shall see Biafra with our own very eyes. I think we should see this. Let's see this from our Prime Minister. Even if you are going, we have to see the updates immediately. This from our Prime Minister. He said, whenever the IPOB Nigeria criminals brag about how they freed Mazen Nandekane in 2016, remind them that had nothing to do with his release. Remind them they have nothing to do with his release in 2016. Remind them that it was Avenger that gave condition that led to his release in 2016, after they released him through the effort of the Avengers. The same criminals made sure they joined Mazen and Kano and their heads together, and it ended in quarrel. Some of you know better this time around. As he is coming out, we will welcome him to the United States of Biafra. And where is the video? Let's listen to the video. They put it on the screen. I will not even put it on it. Let's listen to the video.
Not minding our previous stupidity when it comes to the issue of Biafra. I'm also a United Delta. Government said it here, Tompolo, a brother and a friend that I like very much, is here. Because during the Avengers time, this Tompolo, I'm reading his words today, went to a meeting and gave them the order that the release of Nnamdi Kanu from detention is the #1 demand of Niger Delta Avengers. #1. How can I forget them? That is why I fight for all of us to be free. I fight and I struggle. Anytime I remember what Niger Delta Avengers did, what our brothers did on the high seas, for me, I say we must go. Let us get Biafra first, then everybody can go their way if you want. I'm telling you the truth. But we must all be free. The #1 demand of Niger Delta Avengers, when a ship was hijacked, everything that they were doing was the release of Nnamdi Kanu. I will never forget. Sometimes I speak in a manner that most of them may misunderstand, but in my heart, every blessed day, I pray for our people from the southern part of Biafra. Let me tell you remind you once again about if you are from these states, you are a Niger Delta. Abia, Akwa Ibom, Bayelsa, Cross River, Delta, Edo, Imo, Ondo, and Rivers, including those in Auchi.
Clear? Very, very clear, Abi. We will continue to do the needful, and we will continue to fight. We are not stopping. We are not stopping. So we must continue. I encourage everybody to get involved. This is not time to say, they are there now. Somebody, no, everybody is doing something and must be doing something. So I have to stop here. Remember, our referendum has been taking place, and now is the time for a redeclaration. I will say thank you so much for watching. Try and like this video, and bye for now.
Referendum, yes. Referendum, no. Referendum today is the only solution. Referendum, yes. Referendum, referendum today is the only consolation. We shall never forget. Never, never. I will never forget. I will never forget what Britain did to Biafra. Referendum, only referendum. Referendum today is the only consolation. I say I will never forget. Never. We shall never forget. We shall never forget what Nigeria did to Biafra. Referendum, only referendum. Yeah, yeah. Referendum today is the only solution. 1967 to 70, they came together and keep their price in millions. Referendum, only referendum. Referendum today is the only solution. I said 1967 to 1970, they support Nigeria to keep their price in millions. Referendum, only referendum. Referendum today is the only solution. To that day, referendum, referendum. Referendum today is the only consolation. I say we shall never forget. We shall never forget. We shall never forget our generation. Will never forget. Referendum, only referendum. Referendum today is the only consolation. 1967 to 1970, they came together and keep their price in millions. Referendum, only referendum. Referendum today is the only consolation. I said before 60s, they've been killing their price. Today, at the say stop. Referendum, referendum. Referendum today is the only solution. I say we shall never forget. We shall never forget. We shall never forget what we did to Biafra. We shall never forget. We shall never forget. We shall never forget. Our generation will never forget. We shall never forget. We shall never forget. We shall never forget what Nigeria did to Biafra. We shall never forget. We shall never forget. We shall never forget. Generations will never forget. 1967 to 1970. They came together and keep their price in millions. We shall never forget. We shall never forget. We shall never forget. Our generation will never forget. Referendum, only referendum. Referendum today is the only consolation. Only referendum. Referendum. Referendum today is the only solution. Referendum. Referendum. Referendum today is the only solution. Referendum. Referendum today is the only consolation. Igbo, will you forget? No, no, no. No, no, no. Our generation will never forget. Referendum. Referendum. Only referendum is the only consolation. Igbo, will you forget? No, no, no. No, no, no. Our generation will never forget. Referendum. Referendum. Referendum today is the only consolation. Will you forget? No, no, no. No, no, no. Our generation will never forget. Referendum. Only referendum. Referendum today is the only consolation. Biafra, will you forget? No, no, no. No, no, no. Our generation will never forget. We shall never forget. We shall never forget. We shall never forget what we did to Biafra. Referendum. Referendum. Only referendum today is the only solution. We shall never forget. We shall never forget. We shall never forget what Nigeria did to Biafra. Referendum. Referendum. Only referendum today is the only solution. 1967 to 1970, they came together and keep their price in millions. Referendum. Referendum. Referendum today is the only solution. Referendum. Only referendum. came together and keep their price in referendum today is the only solution. I say since they be killing their friends today. For 60s, they be killing their friends today. Some people say enough, we need referendum. Referendum today is the only consolation.